Hi, I'm not centered, so just ignore that. I also have not brushed my hair or changed out of my pajamas, so we're not talking about that. Anyways, I am going to be making my family eat historical food for the next, maybe month or so. Every day we're gonna do breakfast, lunch, possible snack, dinner, possible dessert, and each decade's gonna be 2 to 3 days long that we eat that food, because I could do a whole week, but I'm not going to. By the way, this is inspired by Back in Time for Dinner or Back in Time for Tea. It's a show that's British, so if you're an American, as am I, you may not have heard of it because obviously it's not from our country. So anyways, so we're gonna do the decades from 1890 all the way to 2000, not 2010s because we all lived through that completely, because my brother was born in 09, I was born 06, so we didn't technically live through the complete 2000s, although I lived through a good chunk of it, like half of it, and he barely lived through it. But that's the first decade that we've all lived completely through, so we're not doing that. My parents were both born 70s, so that should be interesting for them if I get any of this right. Anyways, first day, every day of the decade, I want to have some sort of activity that we do, be it making jam or, hold on, this is my only, possible description for what I'm trying to talk about. This, can we see that? She's like a recess girl, and she's got the little loop on two, freaking rulers that you would, do this with the rulers, and then the loop would, fly off, and then the other person's supposed to catch it on the things and then shoot it back at you. So it's like some sort of recess schoolgirl game. No, I don't know. So then I want to find an activity for each day, and then one of the days I want to watch some sort of movie, TV show, entertainment, be it we watch a musical online or something, because 1890s, I don't know, silent films were 1910s, 1900s, I don't know. Anyways, and then I also want to find some sort of music to have them listen to. This is extremely long-winded, and I'm very sorry for that, but I have to include the whole thing, because otherwise you'll be deathly confused. Thank you. Okay, so I was going to get the 2 world wars out of the way, because possible rationing, and then usually you hear about the European side when you research the world wars. So was gonna get that out of the way. World War I didn't really have rationing, and then it had, hold on, it had wheatless Wednesdays, and then I think meatless Fridays. Wheatless Wednesdays. Oh, no, it was meatless Monday, because alliteration, duh. Meatless Monday, wheatless Wednesdays, to encourage Americans to, save their food, so then, soldiers could have more food, so they were stronger. And then World War II looked into that. We had a little more rationing, but since the war was not fought on our soil, we didn't really have much because we have our own agriculture. But the main things that were rationed were sugar, coffee, chocolate, which, if you think about it, are 3 things that aren't really grown in the US. So sugar is half a pound per person per week. So that's 2 pounds per week for our family, because it's 4 people, me, my brother, my mom, my father. And then we looked into coffee, which would be 1 pound every 5 weeks, and then divided by 5, is 3.2 ounces, and then divide it by 7 is 0.471, or like half an ounce. And so I gave my mom half an ounce of coffee so she could measure it out as if she was making normal day's worth of coffee. And she has this little scooper thing that's like a little spoon, and each scoop equals a cup. And usually she does 6 cups of coffee a day, and this scoop thing, the half an ounce that I gave her, was only like 3 barely scoops of it. So she's not excited about the 40s because she's probably gonna have a headache, she says, because she will not be able to live without her coffee. But I think she can do it. We have faith. Anyways, back to research. Sorry for the quality of audio because this is 1, being filmed on my phone, and 2, my dad is mowing the lawn. But finished 1890s. This is 2 days later, by the way. I am literally the most procrastinating human there is, and I am starting on the 1900s, that first decade. Music playlist in YouTube. You'll be able to find those on the channel somewhere. Also, in the description, I definitely am going to link this person who did these cooking timeline through the decade little breakdown things for, like, I think up until the 30s or maybe the 40s. And her name is Jill, and she's got this amazing blog. Definitely linking that down below. She's so great. I used a bunch of her information. Okay, sorry for this absolute terrible graphics because this is being filmed on my iPad, so I can show you my phone. But I am doing music for different time periods, and my question right now is, why is every song from the 1930s got a Bing Crosby cover version? Bing Crosby was poppin' in the 30s, like, what the heck? Also, why don't I have Wi-Fi? I'm in my house. It's fine. Anyways, so I think I'm gonna do from the 1890s to the 40s, I think. The 30s for sure on YouTube playlists, and then probably the 40s because I know for sure I can find 50s and Presley stuff on Spotify, so I'll just make Spotify playlists for everything that is past the 40s. But so 40s, 30s, 20s, 10s, 1890s here, and then 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, Spotify. I will link the ones specific to that video in the description, so like if I'm doing 1910s video, I'll link this playlist. If I'm doing a 80s video, I'll link the Spotify playlist, and yeah. Hello, this is me editing. This next clip I gave no background to at all, so I'm talking about the timing and how I'm spacing out the different decades, and how I've changed it, but I didn't tell you how I had originally planned it to be. So my original plan was basically this, but the 40s, which is this slightly darker blue that you can't really tell is darker, the 40s was actually 3 whole days long, so it went into here, and then the 50s, and then the 60s like started off that beginning of the week, and then the 4th of July we definitely would have been doing things like research and experiment wise on that day, but then I decided to, instead of having it in a big chunk, like kind of split it up a bit, which is going to be what you'll see now. I have changed our timing so that we're not in one big block, so we do the 50s and then we skip. Yes, technically the 4th should be here because June does not have 31 days. I'm just stupid. We're just going to take off these 2 weeks and then do 60s through 2000s, which technically isn't halfway, but it's halfway through the 20th century, not the 19th century, 20th century, so it's fine with me. And then this, I am doing my 50s meal, so all that I have to do for now, this is literally copyright 1950, so that's exciting. I was just reading about meal planning and table service. Each meal that I have must be appropriate It must have a good appearance, aka literally have a color scheme. What the heck? Be satisfactory. Nutrition is key, and then cost efficient. So that's fancy. Then it gives me like how to make vegetables look good, and some more how to finish things off that they look nice, and then like a bunch of stuff on how to set a table. Like this is all setting table, and then the bread section. So this is just a Betty Crocker book that my mom has. So that's what I'm using, I think, for all of the 50s, basically. Also, I'm listening to Christmas music, but I don't know why. Shopping list. Hello. This is my brother, Easton. Are you excited for this?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to eat the gross food.
I promise it's not gross.
I don't want to eat Spam.
I didn't put any Spam in there because I knew it would be nasty.
Oh.
Are you excited now that you know there's no Spam?
Sort of.
Okay. What are you most excited for? Which decade?
Probably either the 90s or like the 50s or 40s.
Nice. Thank you for your video evidence.
Welcome.
Hi, this is my mom. How are you excited for this experiment?
I don't know. Kinda. It'll be interesting to see. Some of the stuff is gonna be terrible. Pretty sure I'm gonna hate it. But some of the stuff might be, surprising, and I'm up for a challenge, so why not?
Which decade are you most excited about?
Probably the 1950s. I think housewives and moms started having more access to stuff that would be familiar to us.
Nice. That's what Ethan said too. This is my dad. Are you excited for the experiment?
I am.
Why?
I just think it'll be fun to see what kinds of foods that people ate throughout the years and how our diets have changed. I'm also excited for you to get the opportunity to get some practice with cooking things, because I think that's a good skill for you to learn.
I thought he was gonna say water pie. What decade are you looking forward to most?
Oh, probably like the 19 teens or 20s. Just kind of curious what types of things people were having before the Depression.
Ah, thank you. I am obviously very excited for this experiment since I spent like weeks researching it. Also, I'm very excited for like the 70s and 80s because my parents grew up those decades and I want to see what it was like. And then also the 30s because I want to know what Depression food was like, and also water pie. Insert clip of water pie here. Anyways, here is a video of water pie. It's awkwardly long and has no sound whatsoever. So they pour water in the pie crust, then they have this mixture of, I think, flour and sugar, which they like sift in or like sprinkle in or whatever. And then once they're finished doing that, they put in some vanilla extract, and then they literally lay 5 pats of butter on top. And then it comes out looking like some sort of gummy custard looking thing. So I either expect it to be great and taste like custard, or it's going to be absolutely disgusting and be like sad, depressing Jell-O. Anyways, that's all for water pie. Thank you for listening to this epic podcast. And then, also, I think that most of the foods that I've chosen are going to be fine, but some of them might be absolutely disgusting. So we're just going to have to see. Bon voyage, my friends.